full participation of the Director General of the IKEA Foundation in person of Mayor Deen, Sanwoola. A round of applause. Let's have political leaders and partners and partners here today. We have a lot of people. God bless you, sir. That's our spiritual leader. I'm not going to stop this introduction until I recognize my own constituency.
I'll be standing on the existing protocol because it will be difficult for me to come up with the names of all the dignitaries here. I would like to first of all appreciate the fact that you took the time out of your busy schedule to be here today. I really thank you and I really appreciate it. Thank you all very much. What we're doing here today might be strange to some of our folks that are mid-level to average level education. We're all used to the normal, typical empowerment. We're used to the government handing us generators, hair dryers, and sewing machines. Not that we won't do that. We'll be doing that. But we're trying to key in with the Lagos State government's initiative of creating wealth. You cannot create wealth if you do not create an enabling environment for wealth to thrive. I'm sorry, I'm trying to say it in this moment. So, I'm going to go through this 15 slides, and what happens is that as I go through each of the slides, we're having technical problems, don't worry. Quickly identify youths that are ready to be taken up in terms of wealth creation. We don't want an environment where an individual owns a shop and then that shop gets taken over by one person. Our culture in this part of Nigeria is that once you have one shop, you stick with that one shop. We want people to scale. We want Ikorodu people to be able to scale their businesses. And that is why we're doing it this way. We're not going through the other route. Can you go to the next slide? Where the community, the government, or a private entity creates an enabling environment for its citizens in terms of their businesses to thrive. Now, after defining that, I also like to define what the ecosystem is all about. Every ecosystem or a startup ecosystem must have talent. Ikorodu is teeming with talent. We have very young artists. We have talented young business owners in Ikorodu that all they need is the support from the government for their businesses to thrive. We have a young guy, Philip. He's candy in Ikorodu. We have Swave Records. He resides here in Ikorodu. We have Southwest Reporter. He resides here in Ikorodu. We have Black Box. They are all young under 30 youths that reside in Ikorodu. Ikorodu has talent. Next, an ecosystem needs education. Ikorodu has Lagos State Polytechnic. And with Lagos State Polytechnic, we also have Government Technical College. For a community or a society to thrive, it needs education. We thank the Lagos State government for providing these two institutions in Ikorodu, and we will also use this opportunity to ask them for more, like Oliver Twist. Those two colleges could still be scaled. Lagos State Polytechnic, there's no reason why it should not be a university of technology. We would employ capabilities that helps the ecosystem to thrive. And market, Ikorodu already has a large population. As far as I'm concerned, Ikorodu is the second highest in terms of population in Lagos State. So we already have it. We have experienced mentors and business leaders in Ikorodu. Come to think of it, where are the Badamosis? There's this transporter I forgot. They used to have this transport system then. The amazing. Ikorodu should get back to that era where our residents and indigenes are recognized for their business prowess. And there used to be a time that all the shops in Idumota used to be occupied by Ikorodu indigenes. And when I talk about Ikorodu, please don't get it twisted. I'm talking about Ikorodu division. And that's Ijede, Ibota, Igogo, Isiu, Bayeku, Ofin. Just know I'm talking about I'm looking at the global view of the division. So please, basically, what I'm trying to say here is that when you go through these 6 LCDAs or division, you will find out that you have a lot of Ikorodu people that can mentor the youths in Ikorodu, and that is part of the ecosystem that we're building. For us, we're trying to build an incubator center when the job center opens. An incubator center is where you bring in youth and provide them with the tools to scale their businesses. When you provide them with those tools, you bring in business leaders, mentors, people that have done well in their various businesses. Will sit down with them in a workshop and take them through a series of topics on how to manage and excel in their businesses. That is part of what we'll be doing in building this ecosystem. And the incubator center could also serve as an accelerator center. If we have youth that has a very good technology or business that can scale, we can accelerate his growth. That's what the incubator center will do. I didn't talk about funding because we'll be relying on the private equity firms to help us. We'll be relying on the state government. We'll be relying on the federal government. Federal government last week or in January came up with an innovation fund. They came up with 300 billion, which to me, if you ask me, is very, very small compared to what other countries are putting down. Australia has $8 billion for their innovation startup fund. India, 2 weeks ago, launched Startup India, and they launched it with $1.8 billion. So what we're putting in is still too small, but it's a start, which is what we're doing here today. What we're doing here today is a start. We can always scale and excel with it. And how does this differ, or how is this different from other empowerment programs? It is different because this is not an empowerment program. This is a development program. When you empower, you give something and they hold on to it. But when you develop, you're building the next generation. What we're doing here today is not for us. The benefits may not come to us seated here, but we'll be sure wherever we get to, if it's heaven or hell, I don't know, but we'll be sure there that our kids are left with a very good legacy, which is what we're doing here today. Through aptitude tests, because we're not just bringing people in, we're bringing people that are qualified to get this done. We're not bringing everybody in. We can't do it all. The state government will do a part of it, local will do, but we're doing our own part. So, in order for us to do justice to this, we will screen through the applicants that come into the incubation program for us to train them on how to scale their businesses. We also will be signing up partnership agreements with various other organizations that will help this ecosystem to thrive. We will be doing that in the next 2 to 3 weeks. What we needed them for is for them to come in and help us train these youth, show them how this is all going to work. We have different and various agreements that we'll be signing. That brings me to how are we going to accomplish this? Because with every goal there has to be a strategy. What's our strategy in accomplishing this? We have a program called Accelerated Skills Acquisition Program. It's accelerated because it is just 3 months. And this is why the qualification for this is SCE, OND, and all. I've had questions asked that, okay, how about SUSA? Are they not people? Yes, they are. We have other programs for them. But because this is accelerated, we need people that can hit the ground running. We don't want people that will have to sit them in the classroom and keep teaching them and keep teaching them. We want people that have gone through formal education and that they can pick this up as quickly as possible. The unemployed graduates that we're bringing in will be trained by LASVET using the Government Technical College Ikorodu. Will be trained by Roda Youth Center in Ikorodu. Will also be trained in terms of business processes. And we have about 4 different training partners, depending on the vocations that these youths chose to go with. And because we understand for us to develop in Ikorodu, we need to develop our human capitals first. That's why we're investing all these resources on the youth. You can't take someone like me now and put me in a classroom and expect me to pick up the accelerated program in 3 months. I've got so many other things to think about. I won't be thinking about. I could sit in the classroom and I won't even understand what is being talked about because I have so many things going on up here. So we want fresh blood that can pick this up in 3 months and can run with it. And these are the various vocations that we'll be bringing on to the system. Now, when you look at all these vocations, before we enlist you, we will look at certain things. The passion. Each candidate must have a passion for what they chose. So, that's one leg of it, the Accelerated Skills Acquisition Program, ASAP. The next leg is SMEs and technology startups. This is where it gets technical. This is where I start getting greedy. I start getting greedy because I looked at the population of Ikorodu, and for everyone here to be prosperous, all we need is one Ikorodu resident or indigene to start up a technology company that scales. Once that company scales, Ikorodu is out of it. When Google went public, when they did their initial public offering in Silicon Valley, they made 3,000 millionaires in that single day. The total people that got employed via third parties and vendors and partners is about 66,000 people that have been employed via Google's success. So think about it. If one of you youths today comes up with an application or a technology in dollars. My prayer is I'm one of them. You better say that for yourself. Small businesses, let us start scaling our businesses. Yeah, some of you will say, oh yeah, right, it's easier said than done. Yes, it's easier said than done, but don't forget, that is why the state government identified that we need to create wealth. That is why it created the Ministry of Wealth Creation and Employment. That would help you scale your businesses. What you need to scale your businesses is why we are here. And that's why we're looking at the SMEs. We will teach you and train you on how to scale your businesses and how to manage your businesses. It is very important because the state government is not going to do everything for you. And please, when I get off this stage, don't come asking me when is the money coming. Don't think we'll hand over money to you. Because a lot of people are probably here today thinking, oh, where is my slot? Give me 5 slots. I have 4 people. We don't do slots. And you all know, IKEA Foundation and Baba Jimmy Benson, he's always played it that way. We don't deal with slots. We deal with competencies and qualifications and the knowledge that you have. We don't do slots. When you look at startups on the other hand, startups is different from the SMEs and the small businesses. Startup is where my dream is taking me. When you look at it, it says startups on the other hand start small but have the capacity to experience massive sustained growth, often enabling them to become significant players in global industries within a small number of years. When you think about it, South Africa has a lot of startup businesses that are in Nigeria today, making money and taking the foreign exchange back to South Africa. All we need here today is to encourage our youth. These are talented youth that can come up with innovative products. All they need is an enabling environment. All they need is to be so strict and thorough that we will not allow such to happen. I've talked about the incubator and accelerator center, so I'm going to move on. We're running out of time. I brought up this slide because I think I need everybody to see what is actually going on there in the technology space. You see, it's either you disrupt or be disrupted. I remember about 15 years ago, there used to be this photographic shop on Kuliku. Then after Kuliku, there's another big window brand that has this old photo business in laboratory. You don't have them anymore. You know why? Facebook showed up. Instagram showed up. If only Uncle Igu Photo innovates and is constantly trying Facebook to advertise. Think about it. All this money is not staying here in Nigeria. It's going out of Nigeria. So why can't we encourage our own youth to excel, to innovate and create, to come up with technologies that can help us scale? Think about it. Google has 482 billion valuation. That's how much our company is worth. And think about it that they did not build factories or industries. All they did was use their brain. And we get there now. It's a knowledge-based economy. It's moving from there. Why are we using this model? We're using this model because it's a knowledge-based economy. The world over, things are changing. Times are changing. If you don't move with it, you will not get it. Everything is dependent on what you have up here. I cannot think about it. This is 2016. We have cyber physical system. If you ask me, Nigeria is still at 1870. When will we get to electronics and IT automated production? We're doing it now, but we only started number 3 about 10 years ago, and it's not even fully developed. And the world has moved up from what they started in 1969, and they're working on the 4th industrial revolution. So definitely, why are we doing this? We're doing this because we believe Nigeria may not start it, but Ikorodu can start it, and that's what we're doing. And this quote I got from the Australian person that is the CEO of their innovation center. When you think about it, during our lifetime, every industry and business will evolve to become a technology and data-driven business. There aren't any second chances, and we're about to be shut out if we do not make immediate changes in our support of technology-based businesses. We cannot continue to keep doing business the same way we do it. I don't want broke Ikorodu youth. I want rich Ikorodu youth. I may not be rich, but my prayer is the youth coming on after me, that they're very, very rich, super rich, and we can't get that done without us investing in startup businesses. We're just getting started. Trust me, we are just getting started. What we're starting here today would help the youth in this community and in Lagos State to start thinking that there is this thing out there called innovation. Please, when you leave out of here today, don't live with the idea that one day, within the next few weeks, we will be calling you to come and take a check to go and start a business. No. We'll be calling you to come in and go through this process that will help you to be able to employ more jobless youths that are out there and get them to be better citizens. I'll leave you all here with a video. This video might not be for me, it might not be for my dad,